Listen, y'all, this one is one for the record books. There's no one like him. Suit and tie looking fly, and I got my guy on the screen. Listen, man, introduce yourself.
Yo, my name is Kuyr, aka Kuyr Yagami, aka Mr. Yagami, aka Mr. 38. You can find me on SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Music, doesn't matter. I go by Kuyr, Kuyr. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too, man. Listen, to the people watching, don't sleep on them. You don't want to be that guy figuring about them last minute from the big time blow up. You want to figure out about it now. You want to see the tale, the rag to riches story. Well, listen, let's talk about where it all started, where did it all come from, and why'd you start doing music?
Well, so I would say it all started when I was around like 8-7, because I'm from Chicago and shit, you know what I'm saying? I'm originally from there, born and raised. And then when I was 7, I would always ride around with my father a lot in a car, you know, bumping like Young Jeezy, DMX, you know what I'm saying? Like old school niggas like Gucci Mane and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just got older, and I think it was around like, I would say around middle school, like my 8th grade type shit. I started wanting to make music. Like that's when I would start inspired by X, Denzel Curry, Zillakami, you know, the goats like that, you feel me? So them niggas made me want to make music, so I decided just to make music on my own type shit. And it's been going on for a fat ass minute, actually, for around like 4 or 5 years. And for so far, I'm getting a little audience type shit, you know. Some people like it, some people hate it, some people just don't give a fuck. But hey, it's whatever, bro. Live life to the fucking fullest. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, what the fuck you doing with your life? So.
Exactly. Life's too short to waste time. We got to do something great. You only got one life to live. You know what I'm saying? So you mentioned a lot of really good artists. One that I used to stan. Denzel Curry, his Imperial mixtape, bro, that would be like the most motivational stuff. I was around like 7th, 8th grade, early high school. I would non-stop listen to that because it would just give me so much energy, and I felt like able to connect to the music. And seeing Denzel Curry grow with such a potent message, a relatable one at that, it's quite inspirational. What would you say your message to your audience is?
Man, my message to my audience is that, you know, don't give up what the fuck you want to do in life. You know what I'm saying? Like I said before, life is too short to cater what people think about you. You either do this shit or not. You know what I'm saying? Like you better make a decision that you're gonna like stick to and not regret later on, because then you're gonna look back like, damn, I wish I could have done this, but it'd be too late after that. So live life to the fullest, love yourself, and love the things you want to fucking do type shit.
Yeah, that's one thing that kind of scares me is wasted potential. Getting to a certain point and realize that I'm living life for the wrong reasons for somebody else, and I'd be stuck with that regret for the rest of my life, you know. And I feel like that's why so many people flock to artistry, the freedom, the experience to be able to work on your insecurities and to simultaneously grow as an artist. Your music reflects that. And how do you feel about the connection between personal development and making music?
Well, I feel like personal development, you know, comes from like your background and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? People got different backgrounds, people got different lives to live. So I feel like, you know, your personal background matters, especially when you want to interpret it into something like music or art or anything that's in that creative like aspect. So, you know, personal development is a really strong thing, and it's like, if you don't have personal development, you really can't find multiple factions to make your art or your creativity, as you say, type shit. So, you know, a lot of people have different personal developments. People got different, you know, backgrounds. People got different ways of doing stuff. So it's very important when it comes to making your craft, especially when it comes to you being a musician. So.
What's something that you want the people to know about yourself personally?
Man, I'm a fun guy, bro. Like, I'm not one of these like artists that really I'm not one of these artists that's gonna just leave you on scene through a DM because I feel like I'm superior. Like, nah, bro. I see people as basically like a different version of me, because we're all human, bro. We all the same. We all get up and do the same shit. We all gotta make money. We all gotta have a good financial background. So I'm not gonna treat myself as superior than you because I have better luck with my creativity than you. So I'm just a normal nigga that just make music, make art, bro. Like, and just trying to get by. I don't hurt anybody. I don't bother anybody. I just stay true to myself and love my people around me and shit. So that's basically it.
For sure. That's very humble. And I feel like that's something important to maintain. Some people let the stuff get to their head. They blow up on TikTok once and they don't look at their DMs. They feel like they're too important. And that all also connects to like the personal development side of things. A lot of people don't recognize it, but we do see like the stuff that's going on. For example, when somebody switches up their character, say like Aye's Jace, right? When he snitched, like it really changed the whole perception of how we look at him. Like, can I really connect with your music if you're not living faithfully by your word?
Yeah, bro. It's like when it comes to making music, bro, it depends on what type of audience you have, bro. Like I feel like if you set the record straight on why you're doing this specific thing or why you're doing this, why you're doing that, I feel like it makes the whole persona more able to be able to understand type shit. Because I feel like if you just put a persona on and you don't clarify why you're doing this, then the audience that look at you or perceive you is going to make the assumption like, okay, this person is living this lifestyle, so he has to be doing this, he has to be doing that, so it's all about how life views you as a certain point. So I would say that you could pick whatever persona you want, go at it, like do what the fuck you want to do in life. Always clarify on what your end goal is, what your end game is here, because if you don't clarify, a lot of people are going to make the assumption and it's not going to be pretty after that.
That's definitely true. We see that all the time. Like the fans will take your career into their hands. They'll turn you into a meme and it'll be something that you can't control, and your career will spiral out of control as a result. And that's something really scary. Very scary. Out of the songs you have out right now, which one would you say is your favorite and why?
Favorite song? Mm-hmm. Shoot. I have a lot of favorite songs, bro. Like, there's a lot. But if I had to pick one, bro, I would have to say my song Relationship, because that was about a time when my ex was fucking around with my best friend after we broke up type shit. And I feel like that was the one song I generally feel like that was actually a genuine response on how I feel type shit. And that was a freestyle, because most of it, like 90% of my music I freestyle. I don't like writing shit because I feel like that lacks my my expansion of creativity, like a challenge. Like when I freestyle, I like to feel challenged, saying new words and saying new vocabularies and shit like that. Mm-hmm. So when I made that song Relationship, and the whole background of that song and the lyrics to it on top of that speaks a lot, and I really enjoy it to this day.
That's awesome. And that's the real beauty of music, is being able to make something, put your soul into it, and then have other people connect to it as like afterwards. It's really I feel like, to me, that's so magical, and the ability to put that into different forms, different types of sounds, different ways to be experienced is like amazing. Do you have any other hobbies that affect your creative process?
Creative process in general, or just creative process in music?
In general.
Well, in general, I like to do art. Like I make like 90% of my cover arts every single day. Because I feel like if I'm going to be creative, let's go all the way with it. So I make 90% of my cover arts. Some people hit me up for commissions and stuff like that. So I do art, I do music, I box sometimes, and that's basically it. Like that's the only three things I really do, and it's really fun too. It's really a good form of meditation to release my stress, basically.
Yeah, that's important. That's really important, because I feel like all of those things help contribute to an aesthetic. Like album covers, cover art, that's super important because it helps people picture where you're coming from and what type of feeling you're trying to convey.
For sure. Facts. Like you got to really, like, if you want to make an image of yourself, bro, you really got to be in tune with it. You know what I'm saying? Don't be like doing this like just for one moment and then be like, oh, I can't do it. Like if you're going to go with it, then go all the way. Otherwise, you're not going to reach the level that you want to achieve, basically.
That's top tier wisdom right there.
Facts.
So what would you say to pair with that to somebody like trying to get their foot in the door and they don't know where to start? What would you say to those people?
I mean, shit, YouTube is always an option type shit. Like, I really wish I can tell that person on how to do it, because like to this day I don't know how the fuck I did it. I don't know how I came up with a flow. I didn't know how I came up with the audience. It just fucking happened. So I would just say always research something that you want to, you generally want to do. Because if you don't know how to start, if you're one of those people that just have no other option but just to stand there and not think of anything, then just look at videos on how to do this specific thing that make, seem interest to you. So I would just say for those people just to look things up and stuff like that, do the research before doing it.
That's one of the more practical and unique responses I get. A lot of people tell people to like be themselves, but I feel like there's certain unforeseen consequences being yourself. Like one thing that like it's unexpected, but a lot of the time we people challenge us. People might diss us, they hate on us and do all this stuff, and it's through that we like level up. Somebody hates in our stuff, we develop tougher skin as a result. And a lot of people spend time being scared of the stuff that makes them stronger.
Indeed, facts, bro. There's a lot. Like I ain't gonna lie, like being somebody, like trying to have a type of following, bro, like be out there showing your face and shit is really discouraging, bro, because you don't know what's gonna happen. Like anything can happen at any point. Like you can fuck around and fuck up your life on accident and you don't even fucking know it yet. So it's really discouraging. But I feel like for the people that know what they're doing and that are very lucky, don't make it far, like very far at that point.
That's actually, you made a really good point there, like being able to show your face. And in the underground, there's a lot of faceless artists, which is crazy to me. But like, we hardly ever get to see somebody's face, and the face is like a symbolic element. And when you're able to see that, you're able to connect with them and develop a relationship with them through their music. And like you said, like we were talking about earlier, we see their development coming through. Like for example, like X, like his dreadlocks would change, right? And they were like symbolic of the type of era he was in as an artist.
It was like different stages at that point.
So how do you feel about the underground in general, as a community, as a space, and where do you see it in the future?
Well, I will say this: the underground is becoming more experimental, which is really good because we need more sounds nowadays. We don't need that stereotypical nigga that dyed their hair half black, half blonde and trying to make X music back in 2014 and shit. Like we had enough of that, you know what I'm saying, from the beginning of the underground. But just have more new sounds. I will say this: a lot of people are becoming way too offensive now. Like they get offended by the most littlest shit. Like if you fuck around, make like, I don't know, like a gay joke or some shit just because that's your sense of humor. It'd be that one gay nigga that'd be like, oh my God, like, how can you do this to me? Like, I'm so offended, this, that, and the third. But, I can understand from their perspective why they're offended. But at the same time, it's like, it's not directed towards you, and it's not it's not something to be taken like a negative connotation about it. It's just joking around. Like, that's why there's a thing called, comedy. Like, you have corny comedy, you have dark comedy, you have so much, factions of comedy that it's like a lot of them, man. It's not for everybody, but some people find it funny. Doesn't mean we're horrible people. It's just that we have different points of views and shit and how we make things fit. But at the end of the day, bro, people are going to do what they want to do, live your life, do what the fuck you want to do, but don't try to fit your narrative into somebody because he or she is doing something that you don't approve of. Just walk away. Focus on your craft, bro. Like, stop worrying about it.
Bro, so that's real stuff. That's real stuff. And I notice this all the time. Whenever somebody has a job or occupation, or they're in a position where they're in front of people and have to interact with a larger mass of people, they should have at least the stage presence of like a comedian. And the comedians, right? Like the stuff that keeps you on the edge of your seat is like you're laughing, but you're also like, no way, he just said that. Like he's horrified at the same time. And I feel like there's a certain element of that in music. To me, when I make a really good song that I enjoy, no matter how sad it is or anything, like I'm laughing and I'm having fun doing it, like at the same time. And I'm at the edge of my seat, like, wow. Like I'm always being impressed. When people listen to your music, it should be the same way. So having these little elements of like that are inflammatory, penetrative, like, I don't know, just stuff that sticks out. I feel like that's important to have, and you can't get rid of that. They're inseparable.
You know, it's all about energy, bro.
Exactly.
For sure.
So to speak on that, I feel like there's some people you mentioned earlier who are like stuck in the past, 2014 music, and you know, they do things that are outdated. And how do you feel about lyrical rap? Some people like are still stuck in that era of like everything has to have a meaning and a story, when personally I think it's all about how just the song makes you feel. A song can have no words but have so many stories to tell. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, it's just like, alright, so this is how I look at it. I feel like a lot of people don't like that boom bap lyrical spiritual shit is because a lot of niggas in this underground cannot relate to them niggas. You understand what I'm saying? So that's why you probably see a majority of people not liking it and a minority of people fucking with it, is because that minority can fucking relate to this nigga like J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar, like Nas and shit, you know what I'm saying? Them niggas, them like the GOATs type shit, the niggas that's known for talking about some real street shit. But the majority of people that have like this other life of like being in the suburbs, you know, playing basketball without worrying about being shot or nothing, you know, hanging around with white niggas, Mexicans, all diversities and shit. When you have a nigga like that that's grew up in a different type of space environment, bro, he's not gonna like fuck with that how a nigga in the hood's gonna fuck with it, because a nigga in the hood's probably gonna relate to him more than the nigga in the suburbs and shit. So the nigga from the suburbs is not gonna really bop to it like that because he can't relate to it. Because you'd be like, well, this is really not, you know, my type of tea, but it's good, but it's not my type of tea. Because bro can't relate to it, bro doesn't like that shit, and that's perfectly fine. People got different preferences. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but a lot of niggas, you know, don't like that shit because they can't relate to it. Now, when you have niggas like Lil Pump and shit talking about money, esquete, you know, jewelry and shit, niggas get hyped to that shit because everybody wants money. Everybody wants like a certain type of jewelry or a type of thing they want to buy and own. You know, that's almost everybody. Everybody wants money. So, of course, everybody's going to get hyped to, you know, shit like that. Because they're going to be like, yeah, bro, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go out, get this bag, and fucking, you know, fuck bitches, you know, all this shit. You know what I'm saying? So, I feel like that's why people like that type of music, that hype shit about money and cars and shit, than actual shit that's going on in the world. Because a lot of niggas want to plug their ears and just ignore, you know, real life problems.
Exactly, man. You worded that so perfectly. And I feel like in the underground, the subject topics are starting to change. I noticed, man, when I first came into the underground, there's this one guy I still listen to. His name's David Shoddy, right? He's got like a bunch of followers. He's popping. And he had a song where he was rapping about spawn camping guys, you know, in a video game, right? And like to be able to make those reference really showcases the shift of the type of people who listen to music and now are starting to make the music. You know, I noticed that there's a lot of people. I only met really one dude who is really like talking about gutter stuff, trenches stuff, while I'm doing this interview stuff. So it's really impressive. I mean, and like crazy to me, but that's just life, I guess.
Facts, man. It's just life, bro.
All right. So, how do you feel about TikTok's relationship to the underground? A lot of people like figure out about the underground and this type of music through TikTok. How do you feel about that?
I mean, at first, I ain't gonna lie, bro. From the beginning of TikTok, I did not fuck with it because it was a bunch of weird ass niggas being cringe and shit, doing unfunny ass shit. You know what I'm saying? But nowadays, like fast forward, you have niggas promoting other songs that are not that heard on TikTok, which is a good thing because TikTok has a better algorithm than any social media platform that I know of. Like TikTok has a better algorithm than Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter. You understand what I'm saying? So of course people gonna go to TikTok because, like I said before, a lot of people are just trying to make a name for themselves. They're trying to be somebody. So of course niggas gonna go to TikTok because they feel like that's the only solution to fucking get famous and get big, bro. So I'm not shitting on TikTok, you know what I'm saying? Like, I support it, you know, because if you want to get that bag type shit, you know? So it's a good algorithm. I feel like a lot of artists that want to blow up should actually take this chance to use that for their benefits and make a name for themselves. But then again, you know, I'm not saying TikTok is the only way to blow up. I'm just saying it's going to tend to happen because TikTok is the new thing, in this day and age that people want to use to, boost your platform. So I'm not hating on it.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Like the older people, they had Facebook and then MySpace and then stuff like that. And then now we got Instagram and TikTok. And I feel like social media is very connected to generational sentiments and topics and feelings and stuff like that. So that's definitely the truth.
For sure. Facts.
So now's the part of the interview where if you want to say any special shout outs, any special thank yous, disses, or talk about anything you want to, now's the time to do so.
Well, for starters, I want to thank you for acknowledging me and giving me this interview type shit. You know, you could have been like, nah, I don't want to do it and just ignore me, but you actually took time out of your day to do it. So I appreciate you, appreciate for that type shit. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to, I want to shout out to everybody that's been supporting me. Shout out to Jay's Revenge. She's really a big supporter. Shout out to her. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my nigga Death Before Love. That's my dog. I love that nigga. That's my twin type shit. Shout out to Suffer the Misfit. Shout out to my nigga Scar Zone, bro. Shout out to my nigga. Shout out to fucking Ajin, Sarai, Hiyoka, Dirty Rascals, DLA type shit. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man. Shout out to everybody that's been supporting me. Love yourself. You know what I'm saying? Do what the fuck you want to do in life. Don't let no nigga, no bitch stop you. Because at the end of the day, this is your chapter. This is your book. And you decide how the fuck you want to write it type shit. You dig? So, that being said, yes, sir. Hey!
It's been Saintly Silas the Soldi, man. Don't sleep on my boy. Find him on all platforms. You don't want to be that guy, like I've said. All right? Listen, Saintly Silas the Soldi, man. And I'm out.